This is a
Good time, Charlie?
production.
On your marks, get set, play.
I love that.
Good favor.
That I really like.
That is delicious.
Welcome back to the 10th Inch Patisserie. It's a Great British Bake Off podcast. Joined as always by the homies. It's Nick Jew.
There are several things I would have actually eaten this week.
Man,
A fair point.
You know, we've had a couple jigglies back to back.
had to get cleared out. And of course, it's the 216's own Big Anthony.
am I the only one who hasn't had a sausage roll?
No, I
haven't.
haven't.
I don't know.
Isn't it?
Yo, in it. Series 14, episode 8, the quarterfinals. It's party week, 57 minutes of funk. Let's get to it.
Oh,
The bouncy castle bit was pretty good.
Yes.
Pretty good. I'm not saying I was uproarious with my laughter, but I was like, that's pretty good. So, and once again, Allison was just kind of on fire this week. I want y'all to know that. Every time we bump into it, I will try to point it out to you. And if I don't remember, they will point it out to you. It's all good, people. Our six remaining, man, half of them gone already, y'all. Remaining babies in this series. Christy Sharp, Dan Cazador, Josh Smalley, Maddie Edgel, and Tasha Stone is in the building. All right, people. So here's the deal. I'm going to do what needs to be done for me to play you this song, okay? But I want you to understand is that I'm not actually going to give you the stories till later. The way the stories work this week, they basically be like, they break surprises that occur. And I try to keep everything kind of tight because, like I said, as it turns out, some people don't watch the show. They just listen to us. And therefore, I don't want to be reading your stories to get ahead of what we've discussed. But every week we tell you some news stories. And that segment is called Bakers Make the World Go Round. And then I push play on this music. Bakers make the world go round. And you hear me and my children sing a little bit of a little ditty. and then I'll read you the news stories. But in this case, you're going to get the news story. You're going to get one in the technical. You're going to go get one post-final judgment. Let you know what's going on in that one. But you won't get them until those times. So we just going to dive feet first into signature right now. And your signature this week, 12 sausage rolls. 2 hours complete. The key party joke made me laugh real hard, but that's a real old man joke. I wonder if the kids got that joke at all.
Right? Do people even have key parties anymore?
I have no idea. No.
I only if you got pineapples at your, on the front of your house.
I was just about to say it's all pineapples in this era. It seems.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I just was wondering, like, what the younger bakers thought that meant. Or did they get the joke? Also, this, again, see, I told you every time I noticed something about Allison, I was going to point it out. She says, we'll be in Cake's corner doing the agadoo.
The agadoo.
I was like, what the fuck does any of that mean? Turns out the agadoo was a novelty pop song by the group Black Lace released in 1984, and it has this little dance that goes with it.
Huh.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I was like, sometimes the words that be coming out of their mouth, I'm like, this needs research. I have to look into this and see what's going on there.
Before you say that, I do have a question. So when you having the key party, do you put your car keys in or your house keys in?
I just figured those things
I
are all
believe it's
attached.
I thought it was
Mine are separate. That's why I asked.
novelty key.
Oh.
No, I always thought you just put your keys in the bowl. And like this is a 70s thing. I thought you put your key. I thought basically there was like the man puts his keys in the bowl and the ladies would pick the keys. And
It says a group sex event where participants' car keys are randomly handed out, determining which couples will have sex.
There you go. Car keys. Look,
Okay.
my car keys, my house key are the same key ring. So what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, my mom taught me, like when I first started driving, never have them together because, like, what if you lose one? Because I don't have many a times where I don't lock my car key in the car, and then I had to go in the house and wait until somebody go help me. So
I got a large enough group of people in this house that have they all have house keys. I should be okay, but the idea is sound. I hear you. So maybe I don't know what I do. So you got 2 separate key rings?
yeah,
I do too.
See, I got a wallet that has my car key on it, and then all my house keys and all my other random keys are on another keychain.
Wow. Never even thought to do
And
that.
also in Poughkeepsie, I travel by not vehicle like 85% of the time I leave the house. So there's no reason for me to have a full set of keys every time I leave. I just need my house keys.
Fair. In most situations, I am pushing the whip somewhere, so I guess I do. Fascinating. Look at the growth, people. Look at the understanding we all just developed here as a unit. Maybe you shouldn't have your house keys with your car keys going forward. First up is Christie's. Christie's making a cranberry and sage sausage roll using a rough puff pastry, pork, sage, and onion and garlic filling with a layer of orange and cranberry sauce. What is the difference between rough puff and standard puff pastry, one might ask? Rough puff pastry, also known as quick pastry, has become really popular with professionals and home bakers because you get the bakery style puff pastry without the precise shaping and laminating that with butter in the dough situation. So basically, you're just doing it by, you just, put some butter down, twist it, put some butter down. But like if you're laminating dough, like for like professional level shit, every now and then you'll see a video of someone like on Reels or TikTok where they show like the machine pressing butter and laying the dough over, and it's like it's the cleanest thing. So rough puff pastry. Rough is just basically by hand. And I mean, you could probably do some you could probably make a puff pastry by hand as well, but the rough style it makes more sense. Dan is going for dumplings in disguise. He's making a shumai dim sum inspired pork roll, pork, prawn, ginger, and garlic, and a 5-spice flavored pastry. And so here's the thing: when Prue was like, the pastries won't add much flavor, I was like, why not? Season the damn dough. And of course, Dan came through and seasoned the damn dough.
I feel like there was some schism here too, because they were like, you cannot make a pastry out of this sort of thing. I'm like, it sounds good as hell.
See, this
to me.
This is the thing. I know me and T been running this joking to the ground because it's Thanksgiving. But you don't mess with the macaroni and cheese on Thanksgiving. And Paul straight up was like, this is my favorite thing.
Bruh. It was real too. I mean, he was so like, this my shit. Don't play with it. And but at that point, what you gonna do? Like, he had already decided what recipe he's gonna make. He had practiced that shit, had his ingredients. He couldn't turn away. But it was.
And then, in my opinion, make them do it for the fucking technical challenge. If you absolutely have to have a traditional sausage roll the way you like it.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah, but they fuck with Thanksgiving this year. And it might have been a little schism, like you said, Nick, but he shut up and down was like, hey, man, I want milk and cookies. That's it.
Then he should have did it as the motherfucking technical.
Josh is making turkey and cranberry Christmas sausage rolls filled with pork, turkey, Brussels sprouts. What the fuck? Chestnuts and apricots with a layer of cranberry sauce.
And they were juiced. That shit sounds so nasty to me.
I'm gonna chop up these Brussels sprouts and throw them shits in there too. Like, why? Yes, man. English tastes are so interesting to me. I just, that's exactly what it is. Tash is up next.
Sounds like bubblegum's waiting to happen.
Cider in the Park sausage rolls. These are filled with pork, apple, and a layer of cider, apricot, and apple sauce.
No.
Maddie, here you go. Classic sausage rolls. Pork, sage, caramelized onion, but he adds to it grated onion with a touch of chili. So he freak it just a little bit. Just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just to add that little bake-off twist.
A little snow inside the Optimo. Do the John Mack roll, rap rock and roll, tidy bro, gung-ho pro. Starsky with the gum so I can keep this going, people. Judging. Let us judge this event. Tash up top. Good looking. Lamination looks good, but needed longer in the oven. Love that flavor. Superb. Apricot works beautifully with it, but it's too soggy. Need like another 10 to make it flaky and beautiful. Filling is exceptional. Pop back in the oven for like 10 minutes and have them for lunch. That made me laugh. I was just like, oh, all right, man, I see you. Dan, they like the color. Nice bit of flake. Taste Chinese, which is like a bar that, like wow. Paul,
right.
Not keen on the flavor. Prue thinks they're delicious, just not something you normally expect when you get a sausage roll. And Paul really don't fuck with it. A sausage roll. He was so adamant. It's like, hey, baby, relax.
Well, I got something to say about tacos.
Tacos. You got to say like the English do. Tacos. Josh, I see a bit of lamination, but it's a bit gappy, a bit dry, quite solid. Flavor is terrific. Likes the texture. If the pastry was better baked, it'd be perfect. Well, if it was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. Come on, man. Get real. That's not the way we judge these things. Christy looks a bit pale, soggy bottom, smell good. Smell good? Is that what I typed? I'm assuming that's what I meant. Smell good. We're going to go with that. Underbaked. The flavor is good, well balanced and seasoned. The filling, absolutely perfect, but underbaked and too thick. Okay.
Maddie. Soggy bottom.
Bruh, I feel like everybody has worked so hard to avoid soggy bottom all series long, and this and quarterfinals is where she would have messed this up at. Anyway, Maddie, love the shape, color good, nice strong bake, nice lamination, crisp, a bit of a kick from the chili, and making
Maddie.
And making Paul's favorite food gets us a quarterfinals handshake from Maddie.
Come on, Maddie.
Delicious. The onion works. The apple really works. The chili is great in there. Even Allison snagged one, which made me laugh because she took a little snack.
Yeah, that was good. Have you noticed how they be going back and forth? They are my whenever they together, it's always magic. They like Jada and Styles P.
Spitting fire. It's something I love about. It's something I've noticed about Allison this whole go around, and it just seems to be fun. It's like she is not ashamed to I'm about to sample these goods right quick. Not like she been just eating a little bit of everything, but every now and again when everybody's like, "Yo, this is it," like, well, shit,
that's good.
Let me take a couple of these and put them in my purse for later, and I fuck with it. I just do. I love me some Allison, man. She is really great.
It's a long ass filming day.
Hell yeah!
Like, let me get a taste.
So that was your signature, and like I said, I had a great time with the signature. But here's the deal.
I feel like this is the thing about the sausage roll situation. I don't know what it is about my palate that feels not offended, but like meat and apples and shit. I don't want it. I'm confused.
So I have had a sausage with a bit of apple in it in my day. It's never really doing anything.
I'm not a fan.
Too far though. I say you don't like hot fruit. We know, boo.
Yeah.
But
it's not that I don't like hot fruit. It's that I don't want hot fruit and meat.
It has its place
together
in your opinion. I get that. But yeah. I'm telling you, don't. I feel like you're giving apple far too much power in these situations, and it's usually just a scant little bit of apple, just a little bit.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
You ever do you put sausage on your biscuits? I mean, jelly on your biscuits, rather.
Yeah, but as like a garnish. I don't want like a piece of wet, mushy fruit
wet nothing. I know. We know.
in my biscuit, but some jam, yeah, all day.
Yeah,
I don't think it's the flavor that I have an issue with, but maybe a little
It's
bit.
the texture.
It's texture and consistency. We know. You and wet bakes, and I'm not you. You and I both wet bakes. No bueno. No. Tactical challenge this week. A caterpillar cake, 2.5 hours to complete. Now, I'm going to read you what I wrote, and then I'm going to be mad because I got a whole article that did all of this work that after the fact. Found the article after the fact. But here's what T wrote, and it's a lot, so get ready. T damn near wrote the article itself. A creation of M&S, a.k.a. Marks & Spencer, Colin the Caterpillar has been the go-to birthday cake for British tykes for over 30 years. He was such a big deal that other shops in the UK bit M&S and made their own. Cecil the Caterpillar from Waitrose, which is like your fancy grocery store in England. Chris the Caterpillar from Poundland, which used to be they used to sell everything for £1. Clive the Caterpillar from One Stop, which is basically a tiny Tesco, which is weird because then there's Tesco who has Curly the Caterpillar, meaning a shop owned by the same corporate overlords has 2 Caterpillar cakes. There's Clive the Caterpillar from Asda, Curious Caterpillar Cake from Co-op, Cuthbert the Caterpillar from Aldi, Morris the Caterpillar from Morrison's, Wiggles the Caterpillar from Sainsbury, and there's another one from Carl. He's the Free From Caterpillar, who's gluten-free, who's also from Tesco. Now, I wrote this. Now, I read and typed all that before finding an article for Bakers Make the World Go Round, where all this is done for me. It's like, I also want to point out that apparently Aldi got sued by M&S. They was like, your shit a little too close to ROG shit. And apparently they settled out of court. So it must be real. But of course, Bakers Make the World Go Round. I told you I had one for you. Here we go. This is Colin the Caterpillar versus Cuthbert, Curly, and Wiggles. We decide which tastes best. This is Pip Sloan on the byline from The Telegraph. In the battle of the chocolate caterpillars, M&S has stiff competition from all supermarkets. Let the taste begin. Good fucking, I like that. It's a good intro. In the tale of the very hungry caterpillar, you know what? Actually, I want y'all to see this. I'm going to read it, but I actually want y'all to see it as well. Because y'all got to see what all these caterpillars look like.
They're so cute.
I know. They really are adorable. In the tale of the very hungry caterpillar, along with an ice cream cone, a pickle, a slice each of Swiss cheese and salami, a lollipop, a wedge of cherry pie, a sausage, cupcake, and a slice of watermelon, our ravenous protagonist devours a piece of chocolate cake. It's perhaps no coincidence that the latter has become synonymous with the insect and vice versa, and subsequently that a caterpillar-shaped sponge is the most familiar guest at birthday parties and office celebrations across the land. Nor is it surprising that the news of Marks & Spencer taking Aldi to court, is a bid to protect its Colin the Caterpillar cake, has provoked such an uproar. The retailer has accused the discount chain of riding on its reputational coattails after Aldi began selling its own Cuthbert the Caterpillar cake, which looks very similar. But since M&S launched Colin, a chocolate-coated sponge cake bearing buttercream, topped with sweets, and fronted by a smiling white chocolate face, some 30 years ago, similar critters have emerged, and not only from the German discount store. From Cuthbert and Wiggles to Curly and Carl, the Free-From Caterpillar, there are cute-faced chocolate Swiss rolls in almost every supermarket, and each has a band of fervently loyal supporters. But how do each of them compare? And so this goes through, and you get to find out what this person thinks of all these various Caterpillar cakes.
So I think that they make something like this at Baskin Robbins, and so now I'm seeing where it comes from.
Oh, that one cute.
I want y'all to know.
These are so cute.
This is Curly. This is Carl. Carl don't got no gluten. Carl look
like he don't got no gluten.
Ooh.
I have celiac disease.
Okay, and these don't have the antenna, and I kind of prefer them without the antenna.
I just kind of feel like all these like claim to fame is like, guess what? You don't have to have Snickers here. You can have chocolate caramel bombs. That's their whole thing. Like, Clancy salt and vinegar chips and such. Like, it's all about knockoff brands that are good.
All right, I'm not going to read you all these reviews, but I want to read you the one for Waitrose because Waitrose is the expensive store. It's your Whole Foods, your Erewhon, type joints.
Cecil. Look at Cecil, a refined gentleman.
With a thick white chocolate face and expressive fondant eyes, a generous chocolate-coated body, longer and thicker than Colin, and decorated with chocolate sweets and chocolate stripes, Waitrose certainly means business with the caterpillar. Decapitating it reveals an extra layer of buttercream coating the light chocolate Swiss roll, wonderfully rich and smooth. Colin, you have competition in the taste stakes. Just want to share that a little bit with y'all. Now let's get back to, the program we're here to discuss. Jump back to my notes and tell you about this caterpillar cake. Right on, you got the deal right. It's technical. It means it's a very specific recipe and very specific instructions. But they, usually, they kind of leave you out or leave you out on in the wind. When it comes to instructions. But this one has hyper specific instructions on how you are to cut this cake to make it roll up right to look like a caterpillar.
And yet.
Judging goes as follows. Maddie's up top. Unusual, quite neat. Looks like a train. Lots of buttercream. Dry, slightly overdone. Christy, all over the place. The buttercream is good. The ganache is good. The cake is good. It's just messy. Tasha, legs good. Antenna good. Noel's face on the front. Not scary. No, thanks for would ask. Mine or the cake? Good decoration. Light sponge. Gorgeous. Delicious. Josh, short on legs. But everything's in place. Just a bit messy. A bit drier, but still delicious. Dan, this looks a bit of a mess. Very skinny caliber. Very small. All buttercream. Not sponge. Overmixed, overbaked, but a nice face.
So this one, Christy remade her sponge. This was the first roll we had this season. Yeah, they didn't do a roll challenge prior to this, did they?
They did that sideways roll in the first episode in Cake Week.
Okay,
the one that had to stand up on the side.
Yeah.
And the thing that I loved about this challenge was how everyone's face lit up when they announced it. Like, everyone was so happy to be making this cake.
I watch an English YouTube reaction channel, Us With Them or That With Them or whatever it is, and they talked about Colin at this point it might be years ago. So I was hip to the caterpillar cake situation, but I didn't know it was this is the 30 years old at this point is, that is the history of all those people who are in the tent at this point have either had one, at their own party or served one at their family's party. So I'm like, that
Dan
is
said he still have one at his big age.
Well, yeah. Plus he got the babies, he got the youngins. So hell yeah. Let's rank them, guys. Dan, not quite sure what this is. As it turns out, having been given specific instructions on how to cut this thing, he still cut it wrong, and therefore he rolled it on the wrong edge of the cake. He rolled it based on the shorter edge of the cake, cut and rolled it from the shorter edge of the cake, which makes for a very short, very poorly made caterpillar. But also, like they said, it was overmixed and overbaked, so nothing was right about it. It was all wrong and then cut wrong. So he was not getting out of that one. Number 4 was Josh. Tastes all right, but the cake is a bit tough.
Ooh.
Number three is Maddie. Sponge is dry, but all the elements are there. So right in the middle of the table. Christy, who I want you to know, like I said, rebake the whole goddamn cake. So once again, Tom. Tastes delicious. Beautifully made sponge, but it doesn't look great. Tash comes in first 2 weeks in a row. This is pretty good. You have all the elements in place. It's beautifully round. That's a decent cake. Well done. There you go, people. That's how you make a caterpillar cake. I don't want to give it a name because apparently that's real wild out there in them British streets. But apparently you want either a Marks and Spencer's or a Waitrose if you really want to get down with the get down. So you know what you got to do, Nick.
Mm-hmm. Put it on the list.
There you go. Our showstopper this week. Anything but Beige buffet, 4.5 hours to complete. Nick, did you your showstop this week? And if so, why?
No.
And if not, why?
So here's my thing about the showstopper. If you put it on like a display, to me, that does not make it show stopping. It just means that you made a bunch of little shit and put it on a shelf.
You are not wrong. Nothing about this made me go, ooh, oh, check that out. It was all just very like, okay, good to know that you can manage your time and make these bakes. And there you go.
Like Josh's was impressive because he's a hell of a decorator. Like his little, his macarons were fucking perfect. But I did not look at anybody's display and be like, oh my God. Like, where was Saku? Where was my dog Saku to give me a oh my God this week?
Yeah. None of what was presented here took me aback. But let's go over what was presented here and go from there. Dan's up top, prehistoric party poopers buffet, making these chicken curry dino feet, lemon shortbread fossils, ankylosaurus head tea cakes, cake pop stones, white chocolate dinosaur eggs in a chocolate nest.
Great idea. So cute.
That is 6 things that this man is making.
Right.
4.5 hours. Josh, it's Christmas buffet. Coconut white chocolate snowman macarons, a little layer of jam in there somewhere too. Shoe buns decorated to look like Christmas puddings, topped with chocolate crackling. And a coron wreath. A coron, or crown, en français, is a traditional French Christmas loaf. They are normally sweet and stuffed with marzipan, fruit, and nuts. Josh flips this on his head by making a savory version with cheese, spinach, and pesto. Maddie, sports buffet. It's making curry-filled cricket ball pies, a creme brulee basketball, donuts, chocolate and orange-filled golf course cupcakes. And they're not filled with chocolate and orange. They're chocolate and orange flavored, filled with an orange curd. And tennis ball macarons. Christy, marvelous Sweet Factory buffet. Willy Wonka inspired. She is making pink chocolate Swiss roll lollipops, lemon meringue cupcakes topped with toadstools, candy cane shaped cheese and rosemary twist, and spicy beef and onion patties that are shaped like little wrapped candies. So imagine, if you will, them butterscotches or the mints in your grandma's purse. That's kind of the general look that she's going for, but it's a beef patty. Jamaican beef patty. But they ain't showing no love to Jamaica in this one. She married to a Jamaican. You know this was just Jamaican beef patties. Come on, man. Let's call it what it is.
Lord have mercy.
Tash, birthday on the farm buffet. Za'atar and sumac milk bread. Za'atar and sumac milk bread pigs. Sweet shoe bun lambs filled with blackberry creme diplomat. Raspberry and pistachio Viennese wagon wheels. Sumac is a spice made by drying the leaves of the sumac plant, whereas za'atar is a mix of seasoning including thyme, oregano, sesame seeds, and you guessed it, sumac. So it's just a weird little flavor situation.
She said, I know I did really good in bread week, but I kind of don't want to rest on that, and then made bread.
I know, but I truly think she was hoping that like everything else is going to show out, and then the bread is the only thing that did show out. Not the only thing, but the bread truly was exceptional to them. Because guess what? Your ass can bake bread. She really is. She's really good at it.
Right.
So is it resting on one's laurels to just cop to being good at something?
Well, to me, it was like a humble brag. She was like, I know I did so good in bread week and I don't want to like rest on that. And then was like, but I'm going to make some bread.
Hey, you better. We got to quit being humble. I mean, I get it. People always been like, you should be humble and you should show some humility. Sometimes you got to just say, I can stunt and just do it.
That's what I would be like, look, we're about to go to the fucking Stimmies. I know I can make the fuck out of some bread, and that's exactly what I'll be doing this week.
Facts. Let's judge this situation, this output, if we will. Christy, a bit rough and ready. Everything has flaws. Candy canes taste all right, but underbaked. Prue loves the flavor. Patties taste great, are delicious. The lemon meringues are properly flavored again, just ugly and uneven. Swiss rolls, lovely soft cake, tastes great, but it just all looks kind of mid. The visual effect has fallen short of what we expect, to quote Mr. Hollywood. Maddie likes the color. They look pretty good in uniform. Prue thinks he's achieved something quite clever with a different looking finish on each element. Nice shiny caramel on the donut. They taste of creme brulee, but because he was a rookie deep fryer, using on the deep fryer, his oil was too hot, which of course cooks the outside, but didn't properly cook the inside, so he has underdone donuts.
Talk about experimenting on Thanksgiving. I never used a deep fryer before. Why would you start today?
What other day but today? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Flavor's good. The texture's not. Macarons are a bit uneven, but lovely color and nice shine. Nice flavor. Delicious filling. The cricket ball pies are delicious. Really nice. The golf course cupcakes, nice. The flavor works well with a nice sharpness from the orange and a very moist sponge. Flavor's right on most things. Texture's just slightly off on the donuts, but generally on point. Maddie had a good showstopper, y'all. Basically what it comes down to. Tash. Some look quite nice. Love the little pigs. The Viennese whirls are underbaked. They just crumble in their hands. You can just see it. And it's like, okay. But the flavor is absolutely perfect. The stewed lambs are disappointing. Flavor is just underwhelming. The pigs have a nice structure. Prue likes the texture, the crust. You're such a good baker. Such a good bread maker. Overall,
get it right.
A little underwhelmed. And again, I think I think to it. They hold Tash to a standard, and she is not failing, but she is not rising to that standard either.
Right.
Dan, they like the theme. It's pretty neat and tidy. Curry is lovely. Pastry flavor is good, but it's very dry. Lemon biscuit, very nice, but it's beige. Dinosaur tea cake is overwhelmingly chocolate. You hardly taste the middle because the chocolate is so thick. That's an authentic egg. Very good. You did 6 things. Maybe you should have gone for 4 and made them perfect. Don't get fired. Yeah. Don't catch bars from Prue. Okay? Because
seriously.
Yeah. Good Lord. Josh is who we wrap it up with this go round. Neat as a pin. Perfectly piped. The Corone looks nice and even, which is a trick to pull off at that size. Delicious, really soft, well baked, works in looks and flavor. The puddings, because they're not actually puddings, they just look like puddings, are absolutely delicious. The vanilla level is lovely. The filling, very, very silky. Love the macarons. Love the Corones, which, as it turns out, are a Paul Hollywood specialty. So Josh didn't know that. Hell, I didn't know it until I was reading up on things. So that's kind of why Paul was on that shit about those Corones, because he that's his thing. He makes them shits. a triumph. Great flavors that you would go back for more of, bruh. Had he had a better, better two things before this, because he had a pretty middling signature and a pretty bottom of the table tech. So
technical.
But he showed up when it counted, when it needed to.
Yes.
And that is his was as close to being showstop as anybody did anything.
Agreed.
I can tell you that.
Hard agree.
I love those macarons. That the things that the buns that look like a Christmas pudding were just really neat. They just kind of look cool. That's him doing it again. Like if you remember Cookie Week where he made that damn burger situation. He really has a good eye for design and illusion. You know what I'm saying? I kind of bang with that shit. Your star maker this week is, of course, Maddie. But sent home is Christy. Now you heard what I just said.
Is that controversial?
Let's go visit the good people over at Decider. Megan O'Keefe on the byline. The Great British Baking Show. Paul Hollywood and Prue Leaf sent the wrong baker home during party week.
She should have been gone home, though.
I'm going to whoop your ass for old and new.
I can usually understand the decisions the Great British Baking Show judges Paul Hollywood and Prue Leaf make on a weekly basis. Over the years, their labyrinthine logic has begun to make a strange sort of sense to me. But not this week. I truly, emphatically,
Showstopper was ass.
Passionately believe that Paul and Prue sent the wrong baker home at the end of party week.
Oh my God.
Not only that, but the person who should have been on the chopping block has been repeatedly saved over another potentially more deserving baker. The Great British Bake Off, because we're going to correct this woman every time now, series, I tune in for calming vibes, but party week has me absolutely fuming.
Oh, God.
I'm going to be real with you. Dan Ash should have went home the week they sent, what's her face home?
Dana?
No. Oh, man, I'm not going to remember old girl's name. So let me take a quick peek at.
The forager chick.
Yeah.
Abby.
He should have went home that week, and we all knew it, and we all said it.
Right.
So this is the second time this motherfucker done fucked up. Last place in tech, a pretty middling, as it were, showstopper, and a sig that nobody liked the flavor of.
No, that's not true. Prue liked his signature. It was just that Paul was so stuck on the fact that it wasn't traditional. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't what he wanted. But Prue really liked it.
She did say she liked the Chinese.
Yeah. Well, that's what they call their takeout over there.
That turn of phrase is bothersome to me, but
that shit blew up on TikTok, man.
But as I already felt like that motherfucker should have went home weeks ago.
Oh no!
I can see how.
I mean, once he got once he got his lifeline, though, it's not like he's been making scrambled eggs every week.
You're right. You're right.
I don't see why it's controversial that Christy went home. She should have went home. And her her signature, her showstopper was horrible.
I wish I could tell you wrong, but you're not wrong. So I can't. I can't call it.
And Dan gonna go home next week. I don't know why people are mad about that. He finna go.
I truly think, and I will find. I think I'm off tomorrow, so I might just sit and watch it tomorrow.
Because the thing is, if she didn't go this week, she was gonna go next week. Like she doesn't have a good track record, unfortunately. Dan has a much better track. Christy had one really amazing week, and every other week she's kind of just been staying there by the skin of her teeth.
There you got it, people. Like I said, I can make the argument to go. I'm still mad that Dan was there. I'm still mad that he didn't leave the week he was supposed to leave. So I'm like, I can easily kick that motherfucker out right now and be like,
I feel you on that. Yeah. But since he's been staying, it's not like he's been shitting it up.
You are correct. And therefore I can understand why they judge like they judge. So it's all good. She had how was her signature? Let me roll back a little bit in my notes here.
I don't even remember.
Signature, soggy bottom. So that's already
Yeah.
strike. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Soggy bottom, your ass going home.
Came in second, but basically presented a whole mess. I don't care if I get it. It tasted good and the cake was good. So the things that you kind of getting measured on, but
She got to remake it.
yeah. Which it's not the first time that's happened. In fact, I think it's the third time that's happened. No use of time. That poor woman going back home to the family that she seems to hate. Anyway.
No. Lovely lady, but I think it was time for her to go.
Hey, there you go. But that will be your question of the week. So like Dan should have went home again, right? Right. So, but that's what it is, people. And there's nothing I can do to change it up. Next week is, I wrote it down. Where did I write it down at though? What is did I not write it down? Because I could have swore I did. But I better scroll up.
Is
Make
it
sure.
International Week?
Oh God.
No, that's not going.
Please don't
never
curse
again.
That to me was the truly the time that I was like, okay, this show has actually made me upset, and this is supposed to be my happy place, and I can't be getting upset off this show.
Patisserie is the week. So
our namesake.
This the one where they gotta look like it's gonna be sold in shops, and if they not bringing that, they can head on out. I could have swore I typed that out. Maybe I typed it somewhere and just like erased it, thinking I was typed it wrong, whatever.
I feel like this is Josh's week because Josh, he be decorating his ass off.
Yes, easily. You know what I'm saying? I hope he goes. I hope he does net himself a second star baker. But it is the email address for the show's podcast at stagecrunchyMilk.com. Phone number is 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We'd certainly love to hear from you, and to hear from you we have. Let's first take a look at our Spotify commentary. We got a couple. The first one is going to be from episode 6, Botanical Week. The question was, which part of the cinnamon roll do you eat first?
Oh, yes.
And Bevy19 said, I open it at the tail, unroll most of it, and eat the yummy middle core first. It's the softest, gooeyest part of the bake. Yum. Publish that. That's not a lightweight erotic.
It's so episode sexy.
Next comment is on season 3, episode 7, Dessert Week. The question presented was jiggly desserts. And Natasha P said yes to well made, in quotes. Excuse me, in not quotes, parentheses, well made flan. Filipino flan is my favorite. Hell yes to creme brulee. Hell no to Jello anything. Hard pass. Thanks, Natasha P. Publish that comment, and then let's jump over to the email, which I thought I had open already, but I guess I did not. Or maybe it logged me out. Just spit on a second. It's the big homie Frank on the mic. Ooh, he's got a couple of things. This is going to be delightful. General odds and ends is what he titles this email. Hey, y'all. I figure I can ask this now for the podcast. Who do you think at this point can win it? I know back at the beginning, Tash was looking like the clear winner, but after the latest episode, it is clear it's a more level playing field, with Maddie seeming to step up and Tash and Dan being overly ambitious. Speaking of handsome Dan, what do you think of his buzz cut? Yeah, he did show up with a new haircut last week. What you think of the fade, Nick?
I loved it. It makes him more handsomer.
Fair. And while we're talking Daniel, the winner of the Big Brunch, finally confirmed the opening of his restaurant. See the link below?
Oh,
so,
nice.
Oh, nice.
He's opening a restaurant, and let me click this link. Carytown, which is outside of Richmond.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So he's got a little restaurant popping there. Proud of that guy. 28-year-old young chef. Young Mother will be opening in the former Carytown Cupcake space at 3111 West Cary Street in 2024. So they're still working on it. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Yeah, good.
To answer Frank's question before I forget, I think Josh is the only person who's competitive with Tasha at this point.
Yeah. And I think if he won, I wouldn't be mad about it.
Same.
Because he's very, very good at what he does. Plus, he do it for his name. Put respect on the name.
Right.
And also, this is also Frank's email. And Sola El Whaley just came out with a cookbook and recently had a baby. Now, Frank, we know.
We knew about the baby.
Stay up on that. Stay up on these things. Her cookbook looks amazing. It's made out of special material, so you can have it in the kitchen and splash stuff on it and just wipe it down.
I have it in my Amazon wish list, and like, of course I knew she was pregnant. I had a crush on her like 8 years ago.
And I knew because y'all have a crush on her. And so I know by way of y'all.
I love me some Sola. That's just what it comes down to.
What's funny is like I had more of a crush on her in the BA days. After my crush kind of the flames kind of went out after watching her on TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I love her. Her and Ham. They do these the New York Times thing. They have this little like show. That's a bit much. Challenge that they do in the New York Times cooking channel, where they basically are given a blank bag and they like hook this up, and make 3-course meal out of it, and it's always fun to watch what they can pull off with what they can pull off. So I love Sola and her husband and her dogs and all that. So bang with it, Frank. You know we knew, but thank you for writing in, good sir. Always good to hear from you.
Thank you.
We hope to hear back from you some before again once or twice before we wrap this series up. But that was it, people. Again, Patisserie. Why can I not pronounce it? Patisserie week next week. So that'll be fun. And technically tonight, or technically hell, it already happened. But that's because it comes on like 3:00 when our time when on Tuesdays, and we record on Tuesdays. So just in case y'all ever wondered.
On your special dark web VPN, because it comes on Netflix on Friday, right?
Correct. It's just ExpressVPN. You know what I'm saying? It's perfectly legitimate.
Everything I don't understand about the internet is the dark web.
I just use it when I got to use it. And in fact, as soon as like this series is done, I'm turning it right back off. I'm not going to pay for it again. I'll pay for it again one week. I don't know though. Doctor Who's coming up. We'll see.
I need that. Yeah.
Is there a new Who?
Yeah. We get a new Doctor here in a little bit. We got some a few special episodes before we go into the next new series. We got a Black Doctor, Black. I think he might be queer of some ilk.
Oh,
Doctor.
the person whose name I cannot pronounce, who's from the show about the kids at school. Oh God.
Oh yeah, Sex Education.
Yes, Sex Education. Thank you. I was like, that's the oldest phrase I've ever uttered.
It was all over the place too. I was like, wait a minute,
what? But Anthony got me. He knew what I was talking about.
Hey, that's what's up.
I did.
Because even if I Googled his name, I wouldn't be able to say it.
Fair.
No, I wouldn't either.
Well, that is indeed your next Doctor. But first, we get a revisit to just about everybody's favorite Doctor. Only not really a favorite of the Doctors, but not my favorite Doctor, and that is David Tennant comes back to play the Doctor once again, and that'll be fun. If you get down with Doctor Who, listeners, let us know. Holler at your boy about it. We can talk some Doctor Who. I love me some Doctor Who, so we can get down on that one.
But I have to give it another try. I mostly watched it on PBS when I was little.
If you start at the 11th Doctor, Christopher Eccleston, who you might remember from, what's that show that David Lindelof did? The Leftovers.
Okay.
He played one of them dudes in that show. There you go. He was in that show.
Mm-hmm.
He played the Doctor for one season, and he really got kind of pissy about it and like left the show in a bit of a stink. But after some years, he made peace with the idea of it. So he was only there for a little bit. Then David Tennant came along and did for a stretch. Then we got Matt Smith. Then we got Peter Capaldi. Then Jodie. What is Jodie's last name? Jodie. I can't remember the lady who played the Doctor, but she had a real fun run. And like I said, now we're at our next Doctor, which in this case would be the 15th Doctor, mayhaps. So lots of good shit. Dixie, you start at Eccleston's because that's basically when the new run begins, and you just go through there. And like I said, I think it's a lot of fun to be had there. It's very English. It's very British until it doesn't get very English, because all of a sudden they realize they had an American audience, and so then they're like, well, we got an American audience. Let's do a little something for them in this, and it's lots of fun to be had. You can watch with the family. Usually not too much anything out of the ordinary. They would be like, I can't have my kids watching this shit, so you should be all right. yeah. All right. By the time you hear this, Thanksgiving will have passed, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope you, if you celebrate, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did not, no worries, nothing to it. If you're from elsewhere in the world where you don't get down with Thanksgiving, hey, I hope you had a dope week. That's just what it is. What it is. That is, of course, Nick Jew.
I would like to try a sausage roll for sure, but I don't know if I want the hot fruit in it.
I hear you. Heard, chef. That, of course, is the 216's own Tatum.
Man, I got greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ham. Yes, I have it all.
I got a full ass turkey that I'm going to dry brine tomorrow morning. And that way, then by the time Thursday comes around, when I throw it in the oven, we will be straight. Tomorrow is basically all pies. I'm going to put together the stuffing, the dressing, because I don't stuff nothing. So I'm going to put together the dressing. I'm going to put together the mac and cheese. Everything. So, and I think I think the potatoes I'll do on Thursday. I'll do them early Thursday. So everything should be straight. It should be all just giving up. Thursday should just be the bird, and of course the potatoes.
I am wet and dry brining this year.
You were saying you was gonna do that both, man. You can have a real flavorsome bird or a super salty bird.
Well, I'll probably go easy on the salt outside, and then you can brush it off. It's not like it got to stay.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll see how it works out.
Fair. Can't wait. I'm excited to cook. That's because I love cooking, so it's very good. Oh, I am the Entertainer 713. Bake with us. Once again, we'll be back next week and do some more. We record a day later, but you don't need to know that. It does nothing to how you hear this show. But it's kind of more of me reminding myself that we are baking, Lord knows, one day later than normal. It's all love. Catch you next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.